What's up guys, welcome to Freedive Passion. Today I'm going to talk about diving on an open line and why I think this can be detrimental to your progression as a freediver. Diving on an open line means diving on a line that is set deeper than your intended dive. It's quite a common practice in freediving, but it's something that I never do in my training, and it's something that I never do with the people that I coach. Let me explain why. It's very important if you want to improve as a freediver and if you want to enjoy your freediving, that you know you can do the dive you're about to do and you know exactly what you have to do on that dive to get to your desired depth. I'm sure for most people listening to this video, it's going to be a little bit hard to fully understand, but nerves do not have to be a part of any dive. When you reach the right level of training, a dive can be formed without any conscious thought, and it will feel kind of like a form of active meditation. But in order to reach this point, technique, including your equalization, must be both mastered and automated. You have to be able to know you can perform the dive you're asking yourself to do, and you need to be able to do that without any conscious thought or without having to make any decisions on the way down. Any thought on the way down, whether that's how deep you are or whether it's time to turn or not, is going to distract you. This is going to make you lose your flow state, to lose your state of relaxation or meditation, whatever you want to call it, or it might stop you from ever entering into it in the first place. To use an example, imagine that your PB is 30 meters and you're about to start a dive on a line that's set to 40 meters. You start the dive knowing that if you go to the bottom of the line, it's going to be a 10-meter PB, which is very dangerous. So you start the dive knowing at some point you need to turn before the bottom. So this means you have to try and be conscious of your depth somehow and then make a decision when it's time to turn. In order to do this, the diver has to either count the markings on the way down, use alarms on the watch, or continuously check the watch. All of these are distractions, and all of these will make a quality dive impossible. Looking at your watch means you lose streamlining and lose concentration. I don't believe that diving on an open line is just stopping you from reaching the full pleasure and enjoyment of freediving. I also believe it's detrimental to your progression. One thing I've often heard when people are talking about diving on an open line is that my equalization is what limits me, so I won't be able to go to the bottom anyway. This is bad tactics on so many levels. One is that you're starting the dive assuming you're not going to learn the skill which you're trying to learn. Two is that subconsciously you don't want to learn the skill because to equalize correctly means that you're going to get a huge PB and potentially become injured or black out. Three is that you become accustomed to what you train and the way you train. So if it becomes a regular thing for you to turn early, then turning early is going to become your habit. If one day you start to decide to compete and become a competitive freediver, then this can become a problem. Four is that there are many people that can equalize dry, but they can't equalize at depth. The only difference between equalizing dry and them equalizing at depth is they can't give the same amount of focus and concentration to performing the equalization at depth as what they can when they're dry. This is usually due to not properly automating technique, some depth anxiety, and if you're diving on an open line, that's another distraction which is going to stop you from being able to equalize properly. Another thing that I hear people say is, I'll just go as deep as I can, or I'll just go as deep as I feel like, or I'll turn when I don't feel relaxed anymore. What this translates to on the dive, whether the diver is conscious of it or not, is for as long as you feel good, you go deeper. Then you have something happens, you have some form of anxiety, a little mild trace of fear, and that's what triggers you to turn, and then you come back up. There are two results from this type of training. One is that every dive is going to contain some level of anxiety, thus associating freediving with anxiety. And the second is that the freediver gets accustomed to turning at the first sign of anxiety. When they feel good, they go deeper. When they feel bad they turn. Some level of anxiety is a normal part of every beginner's progression. One of the great things that you can learn from freediving is how to overcome and how to deal with this anxiety. Doing repetitions of a fixed depth allows a diver to do a dive enough times to be able to do it without any anxiety and eventually with complete peace. And diving on a line that's set to a depth that you know you can do allows you to feel this anxiety and learn not to react to it and continue going to your target depth. This is teaching you mental toughness and committing to a dive. So in summary, diving on a fixed line allows you to concentrate fully on the skills you're trying to learn or relax fully into a dive without any distractions. I want to give a quick shout out to Octopus. I've got their new pulley system and it's made my job as a coach much easier. Plus the actual package itself is compact and well made. So well done, Pascal. So that's it for today, guys. Good luck for the upcoming season. And until next time, take it easy and dive safe.